And welcome back to the channel, guys. Tool reviews of tools I use. Today I'm going to be taking you through my floor fitting toolbox, carpet fitting stroke floor fitting. This is one of the first trades I ever took up. I was really lucky to have a family firm take me under their wing and teach me the trade. I built up this toolbox. It's a Contico toolbox. It's made of heavy duty plastic, like a sort of structural plastic, I think it's advertised as. I wish they still made them. I don't think they do anymore. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I could find any in England, then I'd certainly buy a few more. But it's got these little clips here, pretty standard clips. And you can see it's got a really nice deep tote tray within. I'm just going to move the camera a tiny bit closer just so you can get a better view of the contents. So this is what I carry. So I've got a stair tool. This is made by Orcon. Again, I think it's another company that's since gone under or changed its name or something, but these tools are absolutely fantastic. If you can get one of these, I really suggest it. I only use it just for tucking in carpet. I don't use it on stairs. I use on stairs I'd use the bolster type ones, you know, the ones that have just got a round cap on the top. I find this one just a little bit sharp. If you have a look at it, I always worried it would go through carpet, and I also don't want to put loads of dents in there that are then going to go chewing up my hands. So but yeah, for tucking in carpets, this is absolutely fantastic. It really puts a nice crease in carpets and in vinyl. So yeah, if you can get one of them, definitely get it. It's very ergonomic. Got a little pry bar. This is just for taking off trim. Yeah, ripping up gripper and everything like that. It's only small, it's really lightweight, fits in the toolbox, doesn't take any space. And I used to use a rubber mallet, like a dead blow hammer, just on the back of it to make it even easier. This is really, really good. Keep a small set of shears, nothing too big, and I've got a bigger set in the main toolbox I'll show you in a second. Good for just cutting underlay and the like. I used to use this one for underlay, and I used to use the bigger ones for carpets. Keep a carpet awl. If you're lifting up like the corners of carpets and things like that, I used to just use that just to pick them up. It's useful. Little set of napping shears. If you've got a little fault or something like that in the carpet, or just a little bit sticking up that you just don't want to ruin the overall look, you can just put that flush and then just trim it off easy. I've got a very few heavy duty blades. This one's actually made by Crain. I think these are more common within American carpet fitting circles. They use these straight blades a lot more than us Brits do. But I really, really like them on vinyl, on concrete floors, anything like that. They work really well just because that little blunt bit just there, it's not going to get any blunter, and it just drags across the floor really easy without putting great big scores in it like you would with a diamond blade, or a triangle blade, sorry. But yeah, it's pretty handy. But I tend to use the Delphin knives most of the time. So I've got a hook blade and straight blades there. Just drag those around. You've got a few options if you use those. Really, really nice. Using the hook blades a lot more recently. They really work well. I've got a whole bunch of staples. Carry loads of staples just for underlay. You're going to go through a lot of them. I keep a little book just for calculations, quotes, shopping lists, whatever you need it for. A little book in there is useful. And I keep, there you go, I've got a few different types of blades and things like that. I've got a tin that I keep most of my blades in there. Things like pencils, pens, pencils, all of that sort of stuff. An old trick from the guy that taught me was a little bit of chalk. If you scratch up a skirting board when you're cutting with your knife, then you can just fill a tiny bit in with that, just in an emergency. It just yeah, it's just like a quick repair almost. A little bit naughty maybe, but gotta do what you gotta do. I've got sharpening stone. The amount of blades that this saves me using this, lucky I pulled the right one out there, using this to sharpen up your blades rather than just throwing them after they start to get blunt. You can get a whole lot more use out of them if you just use a nice little oiled sharpening stone like this. It starts to get all nice and smooth and work really well. But yeah, if you're not using that, it's a bit of a pain doing it, but it saves you a lot of money, so I really recommend that. Got a little hacksaw blade here, and I've got a little nozzle, just a replacement one if something's dried up. Got a nice long tape measure, 8 meter one, and I've got some spare blades for my Crain carpet gripper cutters. Keep this little box here. This is really useful. Just take an angle grinder or something to a little tobacco tin, put a bit of tape around it, and then when your blades are done, just throw them in there, and they're out of the way and they're safe. They're not in your toolbox, and they're not where someone's kids can get hold of them or anything. It's just a really neat thing to do. It really makes your life a lot easier. Saves you having to walk around for a bin or anything. Keep a bunch of blades here, tons of them. The Stanley ones are always going to be the best. The ones that like this, I know there's some slightly more higher end ones, but these always serve me really well. They're just really sharp. I find the ones that come in the cellophane wrappers that you get from some suppliers, the ones that come in these wrappers, can often be a bit cheaper. They go a lot blunter. It's almost like a bit of a false economy. So these are Stanley blades. Keep a little first aid kit. Every now and again you're going to get a horrible little cut, so just keep some plasters and bits and pieces in there. It saves you bleeding on someone's carpet. And I keep a whole load of nails, so a load of ring nails for wood, a load of concrete nails just for the grippers. Keep glue sticks, just for if you got to put down a bit of gripper in a hurry, or more so if you're like avoiding gas pipes and things like that, water pipes or anything, then good to have. And I've got tons of blades there, a real stash of blades. I'm going to go through a lot. I've got a few little spacers for if you're doing laminate flooring, and I've got some more in the box as well. And I keep this here as well, little wire brush. It's just good for your knee kicker. If you just want to clean it out, you can just get all the fluff and bits and pieces out of it, clean it up, and it bites a lot better on the carpet once you've done it every now and again. So just keep a nice little mini wire brush. Put this tray out of the way here. So got a little tack hammer. These can be nice if you're using them on gripper. It's a little bit lightweight. I thought it would be more effective than this, but when you whack the nails on gripper, it just hasn't really got the weight to do it as much as just a 16 ounce. But the bonus that this has got is it misses all the nails around it. So sometimes if you've not got too many nails to work with there, then you might want to just use this instead. But you can also use it for getting a little bit of leverage and driving into the carpet. It's just a relatively handy tool. It's not too heavy in the place. Keep a 16 ounce hammer. This is the Stanley Steelmaster. The guy that taught me carpet fitting had one, and I really like this one, so I'll just keep it in my carpet fitting box. A little saw if you're doing door reveals and things like that, yeah, just handy for cutting the metal up. big set of carpet shears, nice big heavy duty set. Glue gun, used to have a much nicer one than this, but it broke, so I'm just left with this one at the moment. Got a little called stair tool. I use this if I'm working around toilets and basins and things like that, cutting in vinyl and stuff, and I don't want to chip anything. This is really ideal. It's plastic, so it just won't break anything. You could use this normally if you wanted to, but it's just a little bit lightweight. Reasonably strong though. So staple gun, really nice heavy duty one. It's by Arrow. It works fantastically. Year on year they really work well. Just use this for underlay and little bits of carpet and stuff. It's very good. But a quicker way of doing underlay is the staple hammer, which is this one, Rapesco one. You just give it a good hard whack. The staples go in really quickly. You can bang it out a lot quicker than with a stapler like that. But it's good to have both. A loophole pile cutter, doing seams or anything like that. You want a nice straight edge. This is great. Use it with your straight edge. Nice tool. Gripper cutter, really nice high leverage on this one, and the blades go really sharp because you can swap the blades out, and they're a little bit cheaper than the other sort of rubber handled ones that are pretty common. I really like this one. It's a bit of an investment once you first get it, but after that it's just great to use. And you can also put that bit on the floor and really get some good leverage, put some weight down on it, so I really rate that. That's made by Crain as well. So door trims and things, any metal work or anything you're working with, you can just trim really nicely with these. Only cheap. It's not even got a brand on this one, but these have worked well. Scraper, you're always going to need a nice little heavy juicy scraper. I think this one was from Screwfix if I remember right. Little tapping block if you're working with laminate flooring. Nice heavy duty plastic. I've got a couple of these. I keep one in my main house maintenance toolbox. Really handy. I love the shape of this, but it works really well in this toolbox because it's like almost got like a scraper edge. So for hard glues or high spots or anything like that, then you can just chisel it down. It's a great tool. Really handy. Keep some nails if you're doing wooden flooring, or if you're doing laminate or anything like that, and you're putting the little trims around the edge. If you haven't got the gun, then this is what you're going to use. And I keep the little punch in there just to do nice neat finish on it. So just keep those in there. Keep a whole load of staples, whether it's for gripper or whatever. Got a whole bunch of them. And I've got a whole load of spacers for laminate flooring. Tons of them. You're going to need a load, so they just sit in this big tin. Tins are useful in toolboxes. I've got a roll of tape. Just want to cover the joins on your underlay. Sometimes that's a good thing to do. And always keep things to protect yourself. So I've got a little mask just for especially when you're working with the glues, spray glues and stuff like that. This one's a bit grubby, I know, but yeah, worth having. And I keep a bunch of earplugs in here as well. Always going to need earplugs. Yeah, it gets really noisy, especially around stairs and stuff like that, and just the echoes just bounce off all over the place, so always keep a bunch of earplugs. And this little beauty, this is absolutely brilliant. This is Crain driving bar, and it's just for hammering gripper down in really awkward places, particularly under radiators and stuff like that. Sometimes under a radiator, you've literally only got about that much space to work with, depending on how it's been plumbed in. So you can't quite get a hammer under there. You can sometimes whack with the side of your hammer, but then you risk damaging the sticking up nails and things. So this thing, just to stick it under the radiator. And you can even, this one's so heavy, I've got another one that's a little bit lighter, but this one's so heavy you can give it a really good whack with not much distance. But if that's not enough, then that's where you bang on this bit here and just whack it down, and then the nails go down really, really well. You know that you've secured it properly. It's a great tool to have. It's got a nice little magnet on it, so that you can actually put the nail on there as well and just pass it under before you do it, so you can really locate it in the right place. You're not fiddling around putting your fingers in the way of it. It's a great tool. And that's basically it, guys. If I've got a whole load more other flooring tools that I haven't really shown in this, but this is the main box that I used to carry. I hope it's been of use to you. If it has been, then please check out the rest of my channel, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.